What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's project, our second version of the Plymouth Roadrunner. This is the 440 instead of the 426 Hemi, available in the same places, the barnyard, the junkyard, or barnyard? The barn, the junkyard, or the auction house. And, well, we got ours from the auction house, and it's in condition. It's got some things. It's not bad. We've definitely seen worse, but it is pretty terrible. Did I get a good deal for this one? I did. I will take that. We bought it for 7,751 and can sell it for 8,627, making a cheeky little profit of 876 before we even begin. Happy with that. The engine in this one is the V8 Hemi 440 6-pack, hence this is the 440, not the 426. It comes with 390 factory horsepower. We're going to be throwing performance parts all over this one today, trying to make it as powerful as we possibly can before we hit up that drag strip, try and win another tournament. There we go. This is our project for today. I can't wait to get stuck into it. And all the other ones, I've used all the base liveries. There is only one livery with this Plymouth Roadrunner, so I've customized it, made it a bit personal, still using the same bases for it. Competition is now over. We don't quite know who the winner is yet, as I'm recording this on the Thursday, so we haven't quite fully decided the winner of this one. I will let you guys know on Monday, but it will be announced on Discord later on today, so by the time you see this video, it will already be there saying who the winner is and possibly who the other two DLC codes are going to. So make sure you click the link in the description below, go and check that one out, because a new competition will be starting. Just unfortunately, prizes are not for this one. This is just for bragging rights. So let's get into our beautiful Plymouth Roadrunner. Let's get it over to the car wash. Let's get it cleaned up. In the car wash with our Roadrunner. What colour is it underneath this dirt and grime? Or colours, should I say? I can already see a bright green door that definitely should not be there. I quite like that rust mark around that, though. That looks quite nice. What else have we got? Both green doors. I'm liking that, but it's sort of a beigey colour. Definitely not what we're going to be sticking with. Let's get the interior done. Get this beast back on the lifter. Get that engine ripped out of there. And start getting everything else stripped down. Roadrunner's up in the air. Let's check for that oil pan. There is one there. So let's get all of that oil drained out. See how well this was looked after. Not hardly anything in there. And very bad looking. So definitely glad we did that one. It is awful under here. Let's see what we got going on, though. We do have the drive shaft. Always happy when that is in place. So let's get you out of there. Look how bad that is in comparison to that rear drive axle. But there we go. Off we go with that. We do also have a starter, which means I don't need to add that one to my shopping list. And let's get this gearbox ripped out of here. First rusty bolt, out you come. And second rusty bolt, both on the gearbox. Then we will need to get out these front exhaust sections. And then I think we will grab the front exhaust pipes as well while we're here. Grab everything else in just a little while. But let's get it back down on the ground and try and get that engine ripped out of there. As we grab the crane, over to the Plymouth you go. No hood, so let's just see. Nice and easy. That is what we like. Then what have we got going on inside this engine bay? I've added the TKAftermarket mod, so there are a few features that are different. I'm not really using much in today's build apart from the bits that are obviously there, such as this bracket for the battery tray, which I do quite like. I'm not going to lie. You need a bolt on either side, then take the bracket off, then the battery off, and then a battery tray off as well. We can get billet ones of them later, which we will talk about, just because I will be using them. Everything else is just going to be normal as standard, so on and so forth. Still painted with the quality of life mod. Not using any of them parts yet, but I will be coming to it. So now I've done the battery. Let's get some liquid strained out of here, 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 and here. Nice and simple. Right click, additional tools, drain tool. Click on hold on whichever piece you want and it will drain it all out. And to get the rest of the liquids out, the rest of the suspension and everything else in the engine bay out. And then when we come back, it'll be time to sort out this bodywork before heading into the paint shop and checking out the livery I've created for this one today. That's everything repaired, replaced or upgraded, ready to go back on the beautiful Roadrunner. And I will be using a selection of TKAftermarket stuff on this one. I decided I changed my mind from the beginning. But let's work on this bodywork and let's get this into the paint shop so we can check out the liveries. We need to get all of this front end off. I only did it a few days ago, or last week sometime, I can't remember. But I can't remember everything on it, so let's go around and find it all. Obviously, rear bumper, tail lights is a definite off of you come, trunk and that lovely rear window. Anything else in there? Doesn't look like it. Then we got the door. No windows on there. That looks to be about it. No interior in this one at the moment. Let's take a look. Let's go into... Let's just stay here. Let's go into this mode. Not that screen. 1% on there. Anything showing up there? No, so we have actually got everything. Frames at 12%. And I bought the car for a little under 8,000. I honestly can't remember the last one. I'm going to go 1,200. 1,250. Not far off for the Roadrunner. We've already seen the body shop for it before, but we're just going to go in one more time. Roadrunner, there she is. Everything's like for like. There are no alternative parts on this one. It is just what you see there. So there we go. That actually looks really nice in that creamy beige colour. Definitely not what we're going for today. You've already seen the thumbnail with my slightly customised livery. So let's just start getting everything repaired. Get ready to get this beast all back together. Let's get our second Roadrunner all back together then, ready to get that beautiful custom livery. Let's just start getting it all on. Fenders and hood on there. We got headlights, front bumper and other headlights. There we go. Windshield in you go. Then we need the front door, the body window, the left door window, and obviously the left side mirror on there. Around to the other side. On with the right door, the right body window, the right door window, and the right mirror in there. And we go. Trunk window, rear window, whatever you want to call it. Trunk, rear bumper, and then we've got the lovely tail lights in there as well. Looking pretty good. I think that should be everything. Let's just get the plates on. I've gone for custom RR for custom Roadrunner on our lovely VM plates for today. In you go and in you go. And then let's get this interior back in. We have obviously used this interior once before. Rear bench at the back there. Front bench at the front. And we are keeping, for the time being at least, with steering wheel 15. We'll see what we can do with the colours for that one a little bit later, as the Roadrunner doesn't have an official steering wheel. Is that everything, though? Have we got it all together? 100%, 100%, 100%. It is. Let's get this lovely little beast into the paint shop. Check out the livery I've done for this one. Here we are then in the paint shop with our customer Plymouth Roadrunner, currently sitting in that beige. I've already picked the colour I'm going to go with. There we go. Sitting in custom. It is just a version of this one here. So I'm just going to go back and make sure that's pre-selected. And then let's go on to the liveries. That's the livery that comes with it. Just that hood piece on there. It looks amazing. But I've just taken it one step further. I've extended it front to back. Looking pretty good. And I've also added this sort of a bronzy, orangey, just off stripe, just off the center there, looking pretty good. That body's still looking a little bit rough. I'm not happy with that. Let's bring the clear coat all the way up, maybe the roughness up a little bit. I don't want the patinaed roughness of it. Can I get that off anyway? Let's try maybe bring that down to about 90, take that back down to around 20. Will it go? I think that's going to be about it. Maybe if we whack that back up to 100, give it a full clear coat. Maybe that will look all right. Let's just get it on and see how it looks a little bit close up. It's just got sort of some like pitting to it. But I don't think you'll notice it too badly. It is there, but it is what it is. I really like that. The silver, the black, and the bronze. Definitely a good colour scheme what we're going for today. I need to try and match in that bronze as best as I can. Or orangey bronze. We'll make it look a bit bronze on some of the metalwork. It should look absolutely fantastic. And we shall go from there. That is the livery we're going with today. We're going to get some colour on them seats. Definitely a lot of colour in this engine bay. It's looking almost white because the metallicness doesn't quite go on there. So we've still got some plenty of colours to play around with inside that engine bay. So let's get everything painted, get this beast back on the lifter, and start getting it all back together. That's everything painted on our beautiful custom Roadrunner. A few little bits have changed. Let me know what you guys spotted. We're obviously going to talk about it. That front bumper is now a mixture of steel black or black steel and the bronzy colour from there. Looking very nice. We've also got some of the bronze on the headlights. Looking good on there. We go into the interior. We got a little bit of that orangey bronze colour on the interior there. Some on the seat post. It is about the same down the back. Not too much. And then a little bit of bronze and that steel black on the steering wheel. Looking very nice. We go down to the back. The rear bumper is just in that steel black. Couldn't get any bronze on that one. But we do have a tiny little bit of bronze on the edges of them rear lights. And it is looking pretty good in my opinion. Let's get this beast up in the air though. Let's start getting it all back together. Starting with the shocks. They are in a lovely body-coloured grey on the main shock itself. Then we got bronze on the springs and that body colored grey on the cap there. Looking very good. Let's start getting some of this in together. As I said, we are using some of the TK aftermarkets. I know I said at the beginning we wouldn't be, and then I changed my mind playing with it. So let's just start getting some of it in, and then we'll talk about it in a little bit more detail afterwards. Starting with the front cross member suspension piece, whatever you want to call it, that is in that body matched silver on there. We'll get the rest in. We'll talk about it in a moment. Just spinning on that brake drum now, and that is the half of the suspension all finished. Loving the TK aftermarket rear end there, because you can paint the diff cover a different color. You also get a different color on the off pinion flange, diff pinion flange, whatever you want to call that. There we go. Looking nice. We do also have the aftermarket small rubber bushings coming in a red, looking pretty good. And also there's a few extra bits on there. You will know if you've played with it, and I think you should. It adds a little bit. These are all extra performance parts as well, so a little bit added performance on this beautiful 440. If we jump up the front, they are obviously in that cross member as well, and we do have the Brumbo, not branded obviously, brake caliper on there, looking very, very nice. Slightly bigger disc as well, giving more power, and also a different knuckle cover to match in with that. All looking very good in that body match silver, black and bronze on there. Loving this one. I think it looks great so far. But let's carry on. Nip around the back a bit further. We've got the fuel tank in a lovely black. Then the fuel pump in that bronze colour on top there. Looking very good. This is the different sort of pieces you've got to put on the end before you carry on with the TK aftermarket stuff. We'll crack on and get the rest of this suspension all finished and move on to that engine bay before we go and build that beautiful V8 engine. And I cannot wait for this one. That's all the suspension finished, looking beautiful in grey, black, bronze, and a few splashes of red from the TK aftermarket products. Looking very, very good on there. But let's move on. Let's get this engine bay all sorted out, ready to go, starting with the wishy-washy reservoir. Fuse box is already in, just in a black up there. We've got the brake servo up here. Then we've got the power steering reservoir. We've also got the lovely radiator C, which we've just kept in a black on there. And then we've got the battery tray. There's multiple versions of this one, and we've gone for the billet tray in our bronze colour. Then we've gone for the aftermarket battery, or the AGM battery on there for a bit more performance power. Battery tray bracket to go on top, and then we've got some lovely chromed bracket rods, which we finished in the bronze as well on top of there. Keeping that all in, looking very, very nice. I really like that feature with the battery tray. I'm really impressed by that one. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. But there we go. That's the engine bay all sorted and ready. Now let's go on and build that beautiful V8 Hemi engine. In we go. We've got the block in that silver body colour with a bit of steel black in there as well. That's why this rod here is in the black. The oil pan's in the black, and the heads are in that silver and black two-tone colour on there. This side's all done. All the spark plugs, all the push rods and everything like that. So let's crack on and get this side done. We do need one extra spark plug in here. There is 8 in total, 4 on either side. One extra push rod in here. There is 8 on either side, so 16 in total. And then obviously 2 rocker arms, 1 for either side to go on top there. Looking very good. We've already got the cam gear and the timing chain in. So let's just get our timing cover on, which we've done in a silver and black. So the base of it is black, and then this little bit in here comes out on the silver. Looking very good in there. We have the water pump, which we've done in black and bronze. Just a few little bronze accents on that, separating it up a little bit. Looking very good. In you go. And then we've got the arms, which are both in that body-coloured silver metallic on there. Looking very nice. In you go and in you go. Then the water pump pulley, we've just blacked out. The crankshaft pulley is in that body-matched silver colour. Then we've got the power steering pump, which is in the orange and black. Looking very good. Tiny splash of red still on that one there. The alternator is also in orange and black. No red visible on that one. Then we've got the oil filter, which we've just blacked out down the back. We've also just blacked out the ignition coil as well. Let's get on the belts, which are both blacked out. In you go and in you go. And then we've got a body matched silver on the fan at the front there. Looking very good. The ignition distributor, we've done that one in a silver and black. It's mostly in the silver with some black accents on the outside. In we go with the rotor, cap itself just in a black. But we do have some lovely bronze clips just to finish that off. On you go, and on you go there. Then we got the engine head covers. We've kept them just in a black, keeping on with that theme. Looking very, very nice. Let's nip over to the other side and get this one on as well. In you go. And then we'll move on to this beautiful intake manifold, which is in bronze. And it looks absolutely fantastic. Bit more red than I think I wanted, but it still looks pretty good. Fuel filter just at the back here in a black. Now, we're going to start with the middle carburetor because this one came out the best. They are black and bronze. This one got black on the outside and a bronze for all the little accents. But the other two, sadly, are the other way round. They're bronze for the main body, and then the little accents are all black. I couldn't get it to go the other way, which was a little bit annoying, but I still think it looks they're very, very good on there. Air filter base is just in a black. We've obviously got our performance red air filter on there, and then the cover itself in a lovely bronze just on top, finishing that one off. Let's get the ignition wires in. They are just in that bronzy color. Just add a splash more of that. And then the exhausts, well, they are also in that bronze, looking beautiful on there. Very pleased with them. And let's get this all bolted up and ready to go inside our very custom Plymouth Roadrunner today. Lots of custom points on this one. So let's just get it all in. And that's everything. I don't think there's any TK aftermarket products on the actual engine block itself. Still looking very nice, though. Off you come. And let's get you dropped into our Roadrunner and see how good it looks. In you go. Let's get the crane put away because we shouldn't need you anymore. And that's looking very orange and black in there. Even if the actual engine bay itself is a much lighter grey, I think it really helps set everything apart. Loving that. Looking pretty good. Let's get it up in the air, though. Let's get the rest of the exhaust, the gearbox, and that final drive shaft in. I'd love the bronze just end on the end of that. I actually think that looks so good. But anyway, under we go. And let's get started with the gearbox, which we have done in a body-coloured grey plus black. So it's mostly in the grey, matching in with the block. But just a little bit of black on the panel, just on that side there. And just to make it feel a bit more at home, we did the starter in a black as well. Then we got all of this wonderful exhaust, all in the bronze. This bit here is the only bit two-toned, with a bit of bronze and black on that one there. Let's get the rest of this all in, and then we'll get that drive shaft in. Oh, jumpy, and see where we end up. I just want to click on you. That's all I want. There we go. Drive shaft in you go. That's a wheel. We've done that one just in that body match grey, just to keep that theme going. Looking very nice on there. Finally, that was weird. I don't know what happened, but there we go. Lots of that body-coloured grey, lots of black, and lots of bronze sticking out from underneath. It's a very reddish bronze, but we're still calling it bronze nonetheless. Down on the ground you go. I'm unsure what to do with the wheels. I want something two-tone, probably black and bronze. If we can get it, we'll have a play and see what we like. I do need to crack on, though. Get all the liquids topped up, get the windows tinted, then we can get this beautiful Roadrunner outside in the sun, ready to go drag racing. Well, there we have it. We're all finished with our second Plymouth Roadrunner, the 440 instead of the 426 Hemi. And we did a custom livery for this one, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Also tinted the rear tail lights just to give that black and bronze effect. A bit more pop, I suppose, at the back there. Looking pretty good. Bronze and black on them beautiful wheels, and obviously bronze tips around the headlights. Looking fantastic. The engine in there looks absolutely beautiful. Really do love this one. I think it looks great. But what do you think? Do let me know in the comments. Let's talk about the rims. I went for my absolute favourites of the 1A. I use them quite often. Lovely two-tone with a bit of deep dish. Now, if you are using the TK Aftermarket mod, pitting the Brembo, whatever we're calling these brakes, because it doesn't say Brembo on them, obviously, for very good reason. I've had to put a bit of ET on these front wheels against these deep dish ones. So this front rim here is an 18-inch rim, 205 width, 50 profile, but it's also got ET of 50 to stop these bars clipping with that brake caliper and just giving it enough room to turn in there as well, whilst bringing it out into the body, making it look like it fits well in there. Obviously the 1A, beautiful rim with the bronze and black on there. Down at the back, totally different. No ET needed at all. We're not trying to bring it away from anything. These are still an 18-inch rim, but they're 275 width. Whoa, jumpy, spinny game. 275 width with a 50 profile. And again, no ET needed there. Looking absolutely fantastic. Let's jump inside. Check out this interior. I said there was a bit of that jumpy game. There was a bit of that bronzy orange on the base there. Bits on the steering wheel, seat belts and things like that. Looking good. And then obviously that steering wheel's got the orange and black on it. Looking absolutely fantastic. Let's get this one started up and see what she sounds like. Not bad. We have heard this one before. Let's just give it some gas. Still sounding pretty mean towards the top end there. We like it. But let's get this beast onto the dyno because we have got a different engine and different performance parts today using the TK Aftermarket stuff. And obviously the quality of life mod as well for all the extra painting that you can't normally do in the base game. So let's get this one onto the dyno, see what the horsepower for this one will be and what its drag rating is. On the dyno with the incredibly custom Plymouth Roadrunner 440 with its 440 Hemi 6-pack engine with 390 factory horsepower. We've had extra performance parts, so what have we gained today? A gain of 381 horsepower, 98%, bringing us up to 770 total horsepower and a drag rating of A of 492. Now, the 426 Hemi Plymouth Roadrunner started with 425 horsepower, had a gain of 367, 87%, so a little bit lower, and a total of 791. So it had a slight bit more horsepower. Its drag rating was also a little bit higher at A of 506. Will we be able to beat the times from the 426 Plymouth Roadrunner? Or is the 440 Hemi going to be slower? Let's head over to the drag strip in just a moment and find out. But before we do that, let's have a look at the gearbox tuning setup for today. I've gone for a 2.5 ratio. 84 kilometers an hour in first gear, up to 312 in fourth gear. Kept it with the same of 4 gears. Didn't really mess with these. Just changed the ratio just a little bit. Obviously, no ECU. We do have 3 carburetors all fully tuned. There is a little link to a video just up here to go and get your carbs easily tuned every time. And there's also a link in the description below if it doesn't pop up here. Very easy to find, or you can just find it on the shorts on my channel. It is quite easy. But now let's get our very custom 440 Plymouth Roadrunner onto the drag strip and see what this one can do in a tournament. Our second time on the drag strip with a Plymouth Roadrunner. This one a lot more customized than the first one. So let's get into it. King of the Sands, 1 mile and just in A-class. But we'll pay the 1,000 entry fee anyway. Our first race is against my brother in the Ford Bronco Mark 1 Resto mod. Loving that one. We got Matteo down here in the Rayfield Caliburn Red Steel. Anybody else? Not that I can see off the top of my head. But let's get into our first race against my brother. Try and beat him in that Ford Bronco Mark 1 Resto mod. That Mark 1 Bronco Resto mod looks absolutely stunning. The only thing it needs, in my opinion, is a bit of a chop on the roof. Just a little bit lower down on that roof height. And that would be absolutely chef's kiss. Are we going to be able to beat it today with our heavily customized Plymouth Roadrunner 440? There is only one way to find out. Let's get inside. Let's go. Off the line for the first race into second gear. And, well, we are pulling away as it stands at the moment. Can we keep it? Hopefully, still pulling away. I can now see him in the rear window. Definitely like that one. Let's get into top gear and get this lovely Plymouth Roadrunner across the finish line. Hopefully winning our first race and get it through to the next round. Sorry, Sam. I know you are in there enjoying the Ford Bronco, but we need to win and across the line. That we have done. We've definitely won. What is the time? 10.666 seconds to the quarter of a mile. Wasn't quite expecting that. 26.549 to the 1 mile with a top speed of 306 kilometers an hour. I do believe, as it stands at the moment, that is actually faster than the 426 Hemi Plymouth Roadrunner, who had a best time of 10.728 to the quarter of a mile and 26.441 to the 1 mile. So we're a bit quicker on the quarter of a mile, but a bit slower on the 1 mile in the 440 version of the Plymouth Roadrunner. But we have made it through to the next round, so let's get on and see who we're up against. We've made it in to the next round. Who else was with us? I'm sure there was somebody. Was it just my brother? I think there was somebody else. Oh, Matteo. Matteo made it through. There we go. In the Rayfield Caliburn Red Steel. Up against the McLaren 675 LT Spider. We're against the McLaren 650S Spider. And then up here, we've got a couple more vehicles, but we'll come to them a little bit later on. How are me and Matteo, going to get on in the next round? Let's get in. Let's find out. That McLaren looks so good. I'm hoping we're going to beat it. We've beaten the other McLarens we've come up against so far, so hopefully we can. Which model of the McLaren do you think we should do once we finish with all the DLC? Let me know in the comments, and we'll see if that's the one I end up doing first, because there is quite a few of them, and I need to pick one to get us started with the mods once we're finished with the DLC. But let's try and beat this 650S Spider. Let's get in. Let's go. Off the line. Come on, you beautiful Roadrunner. Into second. Let's have a look. We are pulling away as it stands. Into third. We are still just about pulling away. Happy with that. Let's get into top gear and see if we can stay in front of the beautiful McLaren Spider. I can't see it in the rear window anymore, so that's a good sign. Hopefully we've pulled far enough away from it that it won't be able to catch us now. But let's get across the finish line and see if we can beat our first run and still do better than the other Roadrunner. Across the line, what have we got? 10.659, so actually ever so slightly faster than our first run to the quarter of a mile. 26.542, slightly faster than our first 1 mile run, still with the same top speed of 306 kilometers an hour. Still not quite beating the 1 mile of the 426 Plymouth Roadrunner. So let's get into the next round and see who we've got. Well, Matteo made it through. We now need to face off against him in the Rayfield Caliburn Red Steel. Absolutely beautiful car. Not sure about the Red Steel one yet. I haven't seen it. But up here, we've got the Chevrolet El Camino Monster Machine versus the Ford Fiesta GRC. Who's going to make it through into the final? Leave your suggestions in the comment. But let's get in and see if we can make it against that Rayfield Caliburn. Very futuristic and modern-looking Rayfield Caliburn, driven by Matteo. Are we going to be able to beat it today with our 440 Plymouth Roadrunner? I certainly hope so. We can get into the final. Let's just give it a go. Let's go. Off the line. We are on the way. Into second. Into third. And we are in the lead. Slowly pulling away. Definitely happy with that. I can see it going through the rear window. Off you go. Let's get into top gear and hopefully keep this Plymouth Roadrunner in front till we get across the finish line and see if we can get our best time of the day down and maybe beat the 1 mile time of the 426 Plymouth Roadrunner. We shall see. Across the line, what have we got? Let's have a look. 10.620, a new fastest runner to the quarter of a mile there. 26.499 to the 1 mile, so a new fastest run for this Plymouth Roadrunner. Still not quite beating the old one, but still with the same top speed of 306 kilometers an hour. So we've made it into the final. Who are we going to be up against? Let's go find out. It's the Ford Fiesta GRC versus the Plymouth Roadrunner 440. Should be quite an interesting race. Definitely a rally-inspired car, that one. But will we be able to beat it with our retro Roadrunner? Definitely a classic, but heavily customized. So we might be able to do it. Let's find out. The Fiesta definitely has the better livery out of the two cars. Absolutely beautiful work by French Toast with that one. Looking fantastic. But we need to try and beat it. It's the final race. Last race of the day. Let's just go. There we go. Off the line. Into second. Into third. And then we'll see if we are in front. We are just about in front. And we are pulling away quite nicely. Happy with that. Let's get into top gear and see if we are still leading. Goodbye, Ford Fiesta. It was a pleasure racing against you. Hopefully this means we're going to take the title with the 440 Plymouth Roadrunner. Heavily customized. Looking fantastic. Let's get across the finish line and see what the times were for this one. Across the line. What have we got? 10.563. We've actually got faster and faster with each run. Definitely impressed with that one there. So our new fastest run is 10.563 to the quarter of a mile. 26.449 to the 1 mile. Very, very close to that speed of the 426 Plymouth Roadrunner. That was 26.441. So we got 26.449. Very close to beating it, but not quite. But still with the same top speed of 306 kilometers an hour. But we've won the tournament. So let's go collect our winnings. There they are, 11,250. I'm always happy to see that screen. Congratulations, you won. Championship came to an end. Your total payout, 11,250. We made it to the final. We managed to beat the 426 Roadrunner to the quarter of a mile, but we couldn't quite beat its 1 mile speed, and we couldn't beat its top speed either. 317 kilometers an hour. We only managed a top of 306. But anyway, let's get our little Roadrunner back to the garage, see if we can sell it on for a bit of profit, get it down on the speeder board, and see what we're going to do with the last vehicle from this 3-in-1 Mopar DLC. That engine looks absolutely fantastic in there. Loving that one. And we did pretty good on the drag strip. Not the best. We managed the quarter of a mile in a 10.563. The 1 mile in 26.449 with a top speed of 306 kilometers an hour from this absolute beast of a Plymouth Roadrunner. Very impressed with it. does put it 70th on the speeder board out of 87 in total. And the 426 Plymouth Roadrunner Hemi is now sat in 71st. It's knocked it down one place because it managed to beat it to the quarter of a mile. But let's talk facts and figures. I bought the car for 7,751 and could have sold it and made 876 profit right at the beginning, but we didn't do that. We spent a further 46,165 upgrading, modifying and tuning this beautiful Plymouth Roadrunner to how you see it today, including all of the painting, putting our total spend at 53,916. Can we make a profit from this beautiful car? Let's take a look. Well, there she is, all 100% finished. That engine tuned up from 390 horsepower to a massive 770, a gain of 98%. So close to a whole new engine on top, but not quite. We did spend 53,916 altogether to get there. So is there some money to be made? Yes, there is. With a sale price of 112,218, that leaves us with 58,302 profit, plus our drag strip winnings of 11,250 leaves us with 69,552 profit. This car is so good looking. I'm slightly tempted to not sell it and just keep it, maybe move it with something, maybe switch it with the Fiat 500 because it just looks out of place there. So we are going to keep this one. This is the first one from the Mopar DLC that we are keeping. It's the first one with a custom livery, and I really like what I did with the covers. So we're not going to sell it. We're going to keep it, and it's going to take the place of the little Fiat 500 there for the time being. But we're almost finished with the Mopar 3-in-1 DLC. We've only got one left to go, and that is the standard version, and not the wide body, of the Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat. Just the standard version is exactly the same engine with that 6.2 Hemi Hellcat with 707 factory horsepower. It's still available from the auction yard, the salon, the barnyard, or the junkyard. Barnyard from the barns or the junkyard every time. We got ours from the auction and it's in pretty good condition apart from the frame, but we can easily weld and fix that frame. Did we get a good deal for it though? No, not even close. I bought it for 66,984 and could sell it for 58,018, losing out on 8,966 before we even begin. This is definitely an exciting one that will be coming to next Monday. So do make sure you join us back here on Monday for this beautiful standard version of the Hellcat. Looking absolutely stunning. What did you think of our beautiful Plymouth Roadrunner build today? I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Hence why I'm keeping it and not selling it. But what do you think? Do let me know in the comments below. Smash that like button if you enjoyed it. Share this video with your friends. But most importantly, make sure you have clicked that subscribe button and maybe even the notification bell as well, so you always get a notification when I post a new video. Have a fantastic weekend, whatever it is you're getting up to. An amazing day. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.